Because I was taking a look at some properties, and there's a few properties that I'm noticing because you guys hear me talk all the time about what we do here at Bell Capital. I'm in my Zoom room today, so a lot of you guys have seen this in the background in some of our other videos. It's the studio for the Zoom area, but the thing was, the property we're looking at, man, there's going to be a great opportunity. I plan on taking advantage of it. I talk about it all the time, especially with when you take a look at what's going on in the market right now. I think today came out. I mean, I think the Fed did not raise rates. They were coming out. I mean, they're not going to raise rates right now, but they're talking about how they're on track with inflation. They're not going to raise for a little bit. They need to see a little bit more promise to what they think is going to be happening with inflation. But if you really think through what they're talking about we're not going to be on track to bring things back down to where they feel like is good until like 2026. What does that mean for you guys? That means there's going to be a lot of real estate opportunities. We're looking at a lot of real estate opportunities for that purposes because, like we said, the number one opportunity right now are loan maturities. Some of these deals that the loans are due, like that's the big opportunity here. But it's not the small deals, it's the bigger deals. Some of these institutions or these groups that their partners are institutions, the institutional capital, that is the opportunity out there. So, as we're taking a look at, like, for example, I'll show you one of the deals that it's on our list. This property, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just kind of bring that up. This is a property. This is a newly built property. Look at that, man. That thing is, can you guys see that? That thing is beautiful. That is a beautiful property. Like, that is, I mean, I can keep going with pictures. Like, would you, if you had money to invest, if you were sitting on $1 million, 2 million, 200 grand, 300 grand, money dying in an IRA, like that's some of the amenities in this property. That's the pool area, the jacuzzi, things like that. That's here. That's here in San Diego. This property is a, look at that view. Man, that's beautiful, right? Like, wouldn't you want your money in that deal as an investment? So, I mean, that's what I talk about with people. I really do. Like, I try to share with my investors or people who are interested, like, those are the opportunities that we're taking a look at to invest in with our fund for Bell Capital. I think so. The maturity on that date is coming up really soon. That deal will come to market. The owner, the builder on that deal has two options: refinance, which it can't because that. I mean, so you guys get it. The loan on that deal happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to be able to build a property like that. It probably costs anywhere from $600,000 to $700,000 a door to build that property. And when I'm taking a look at what they have to do with that property, like right now, there's like 2 each free. It's newly built. They got to give concessions to get that thing filled up before they can add any permanent financing on there. Now is not the time for them to go back to a lender and say, hey, could you give me some money? And I promise you, the lender on that deal, their investors, which are also lenders, are like, hey, where's our money? But again, it's not some mom and pop. It's a pension fund. It's an institution. It's J.P. Morgan. It's a bank, or an insurance company. It is a bigger investor. That's the opportunity. That deal, when I'm looking at the numbers of where that deal sits, I personally think, and I'm going to track that so you guys can check me on this later, because I'm gonna make a play on that deal. I'm going to try to make a play on it for sure. I think it's going to trade anywhere from around $77 million to $80 million. That is a steal for that deal. Knowing that, just permits alone and building that thing, it probably cost them anywhere from 600 to 700 grand. So that is the opportunity there. But let's just say, bear with me, let's just say that deal floats for 80 million, which means that, usually when we're looking at a deal, if we're gonna underwrite, I always look to see if we can put down 40%. So let's just say, as investors, we all came together, which is how this deal would work. Because you always want to know, like, how are we going to make money, right? Like, every investor asks me, like, hey, where's the play at on this deal? So let's say we all came together collectively in this deal. Let's say you're sitting on 30. Let's say you're sitting on 300 grand, and somebody else is sitting on whatever. So we all come together. All investors come together. We put in $30 million. $30 million is a down payment. We bring in the debt. All that other stuff. So number one rule in all of this stuff is convert your $30 million out of the bank, out of the retirement accounts into real deals, right? Wouldn't you rather have your money sitting in an asset like this? And I'm sharing this with you because I think this is valuable for you guys to see. That's a real deal, right? Like, who doesn't want their money in there? So the first thing is not to lose money. Like, that's not going to lose money. That's 190 units in an irreplaceable location in one of the best locations in San Diego County, period. So we take that. So number one rule, don't lose money. Next, I think maybe in year one, let's just say first year we don't get any increase. We're right on the cuff. We're getting like 4.5%, 4% on our money. But let's say in year 1.5, year two, we get to 5%, right? So out of that 30 million, we'd be making 1.5 million a year, right? Just in at 5% a year. So let's say we were to get a deal like that. All of us came together in that deal. We're going to throw down and we all put our money together. We're going to make $1.5 million on our money in that deal over like 10 years, right? That's $15 million. That would turn out to be $15 million in cash. So that's 50% of our money back over a 10-year period while we got paid to wait, right? So that's 50%. And then that's not to say that, and you guys think about this. Do you guys think in this area, this location, now we're just showing this part, right? We're just going to kind of take this thing here. Now we'll go on to the next one. This view, this is the gym. Can you guys see that? I'll get a little closer to the camera. That's the gym. That's there. That's pretty, right? This is another part of the view. This is the community center there. Now, looking at all this stuff, we didn't even look at any bedrooms. Do you guys, let's just assume, knowing that, and you guys have heard me talk about this, is the same story. This is the way that we look at every deal. This is how I underwrite my deals, pension funds, life insurance companies, everybody. Over the last 40 years, 4 decades, rents have continued to go up in the United States. And they went up on the average of 9% a year. But let's just say, and you guys tell me, in San Diego, do you think over the next 10 years, the rents will be higher at some of the best locations there? Guaranteed. So from that perspective alone, instead of 9%, let's take 5%. Let's just say they go at that location, 5%. 5% on, I think the average in-place rents right now in this, and I took an average, is roughly about, I used $3,000. It ranges anywhere from $3,500, $3,700, all the way down. I think the studios are somewhere in around $28. So if we take, so let's just go 3,000, 5%. That's another $150 a month. Let's assume that we were able to raise rents in that area $150, only 5%, not 9 and 10 and 7 and all the other things, 5%. So worst case scenario, we got another 5%. And let's say we didn't get it full 10 years. Let's say we only got it 5 of the 10. Let's cut it back. Let's cut it way back. So out of those 5. So another 1.55. So we got another 30 million times 5% times 5 years. So we got another 70. Right. So that's another, right? We only got that for 5 years of the 10. So that's another. So we got 15, we made 15 million on our money, 50% of our money back that we put down out of the 30, right? Then we got another 7,500 over the top of that. That's extra over the top of what we already baselined ourselves out to get. Just 5%. And this extra 5% is not including compounding, right? You guys know compounding interest. That's like the way of the world. As it relates to money is concerned, everyone's like the wonder of the world, the 8th wonder of the world. I think Einstein said that. But we're not even calculating that because typically it will compound on top of itself. We're just thinking, hey, what if it just went up 5% a year? Out of the 5 years, out of the 10 years. I'm just being super conservative. Now the goal here, because you saw that property. That property was completed and built in 2024. That's a brand new asset. So in 10 years, that property will only be 10 years old. It's not going to be like if we were to buy a property that was built in the 70s. That property is already, 53 years old, right? 10 years from now, that property will be 63 years old. This property will still be a baby. It still won't even be in the, what is that? It won't even be out of elementary school yet. It'll still be in like middle school. But we would not even consider selling. I wouldn't even consider selling that property. If we were to buy that property and manage that asset in our portfolio, that property, number one, we wouldn't do anything unless we can triple our money or double our money. So worst case scenario, as investors, we would be looking at maybe coming back, if somebody were to somebody were to offer us on that deal 10 years from now, I'd rip their heads off at closing for us. I would make us a lot of money. So let's just go. We wouldn't do anything with that deal unless we were at what? 90. If we were to turn around and sell that deal, right? 90 million. So in that situation, I wouldn't sell it unless I can give all of us our 30 million back plus another 30 on top of that, but maybe more, because the way that our fund is set up, we don't make anything unless we are actually making you guys a double, right? So that means it's probably going to be more like 60 million on the return. So we'll give you 30 million. Sorry, we'll all get 30 million back. Again, it's been protected. We've made 15 million while we waited, plus another 7.5 million. Then when we turn around and sell, we'll get our 30 million back plus 60, right? So that works out to be, let me do the math on this deal. I do this over and over again because I want you guys to see it, right? So that's 90 plus 7.5 million over 5 years, plus the other 15 million that we already collected. That's 112 million 500. That would be what we can expect. So our 30 million will turn into 112.5. That would be the goal of that deal. And that's not an impossible thing to do, right? That's what? 375% on our money. Man, that's crazy. That is a great deal. But this is really how the game is played. It's not that let's buy a fourplex, let's buy a duplex, let's do that. We're talking about being investors. So you guys out there who are like sitting on money and it's just dying in the bank, going down, well, your money is still the same. What you can use and buy with your money has went down. Do you know if your money just sat in the bank since 2020, you've lost about 20 to 25% of its buying power, what it could buy you. So if you were sitting on $1 million in the bank, your $1 million buys you about $750,000 worth of goods. Which is why I said, get your money out of the banks and put it in an asset. Because for every $1 million gets you a $3 million position in real estate with leverage. Now, it's not the best time to get leverage, but leverage is always going to be out there for a good piece of real estate, but not if you're sitting on it, because we're looking for people who've run out of time. That is the ultimate play here. So I'm looking at great assets, great locations, irreplaceable. I'm looking for scale because I want you guys to be my partner. But I like to show you guys what I'm doing while I'm doing it because when you see it and you go, cool, man, we're talking about investing. Now, I understand no one person is sitting on 30, 40, $50 million. Well, I got some investors that are, but we're talking about, look, if you're sitting on 100 grand, 200,000, 500,000, $1 million, like those, you guys are the people I'm looking to partner with. The way that we structured Bell Capital is to allow you guys to come in, partner in the deals that we're doing, get these returns while we manage the asset. We deal with the tenants, the toilets, the termites. We oversee the management company, and we send you guys a check while we pick the best deals that, number one, protect our capital, provide cash flow when we close, future appreciation, and we pass the tax benefits on to you guys because you guys are partners. Unlike in a REIT where you don't really get the pass through benefits of that because you're not actually a partner, right? You don't get the depreciation and all the other stuff that really goes along with that because you don't own any real estate. You own the paper that owns the real estate. In this one, you actually are a part owner in the deal. You get a K1 just like everyone else that is a partner in a piece of real estate. So, go back and watch this. This is important. Like every time we do a deal, we do it like this. Can we get a deal? Do we think we can get we can earn 5 to 7% on our money and double at the exit, double at the end of that deal? Because if so, I'll take a look. Because if that's the case, hey, let's say worst case, let's say we didn't. Let's say we got our 30 million back plus another 30 instead of a double on that or a triple. Like that, maybe that would work on a deal like that. Who knows? Or better yet, which is what I've always done in the past, what if I didn't do that? What if we raised the rent on the deal because we know the property went up and we went back to the lender at a time when the rates were lower and it was more feasible, let's say 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road, and I refinanced and I gave you guys all of your money back as investors. Now you're in the deal and it's an infinite return for you because you have normal money in the deal, but you stay in the deal and you still get cash flow and all the benefits of that. That is how wealth is created. Most people that invest in real estate for the long term, which are the investors that we deal with and talk to and people who we're looking for to be the best partners for us. They're not looking to exit a deal. They're looking to invest their money, get cash flow while they continue to build on it and have that money sit. The principal of their money doesn't get touched. And if they get their principal back, they can do what they want to do with it, reinvest with us or not. But they're still in the deal. They still have the wealth creation that continues to happen because they're still a partner. I don't just kick them out like most syndicators and fund managers do when a deal is done. All right. So, man, I wanted to share that with you. But if you have questions, reach out to us. Leave us a comment here. Like this video. Share the video. I wanted to go live on this because we're doing something different. I want to start going live and connecting with you. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be in Austin. Man, if you want to meet up in person in Austin, I would love to connect with you while we're there. That's going to be coming up next week. So go to bell-capital.com/RSVP, put your name, and you got to be accredited. It's only for accredited investors. It's not an educational thing. We're just going to be meeting and talking because I want to answer your questions and just shake hands and see you. If you're coming, I would love to have you, but you got to be accredited. You got to be serious. You got to be a good person. You got to be liquid. And go from there. But go to bell-capital.com/RSVP, put your information in there, and we'll make sure to reach out to you and add you to the list and give you the details and stuff like that in the location in Austin, Texas. And that should be on the 10th of July coming up. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. Have a great day today. I just wanted to go live, spend a little time with you guys, and go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let's talk soon. Let's go.